think this body of work is centred around this motif that keeps going around my head, which is of me walking out of town or walking towards the periphery of somewhere, and it's definitely a larger theme in my work where I connect ideas to places in a way, and these places are usually not real, or they come from my memory. In this instance it relates to where I grew up really, which is the northwest London. Medieval graffiti maybe, a cornerstone. I think this might have been where I had my sixth form ball. This place is very sort of hemmed in a way by different major kind of infrastructure projects by the government and things like HS2, M25, Heathrow Airport, just all these massive kind of major like landworks really that kind of distort and change the place. But this kind of got me thinking about the idea of disappearance. The things we're walking around today are villages that will soon disappear because of the third runway. So there's a kind of oddness to here. It's like a sort of fairyland in a way. There's a, this idea of stepping inside a ring and everything being different. It's a form of heterotopia. It's kind of like a place where it has its own rules and its own sort of distinct values. The puka is a figure from Irish folklore, which is ultimately what we'd recognise as a fairy, and it's a fairy specific to the sort of peripheral area of the town and city. It's something you would encounter on a walk home, on a dark lane or something, and you wouldn't know you'd met it until something very strange happens. And if you're not careful, you can wander into the puka's land, and there are certain rituals you can take, and there's certain clothing you can wear to make sure that you can enter back into reality. For example, like turning your clothes backwards when you're in there. A lot of this thinking is connected to perhaps some of the characters in the painting. It's happening more and more in my work. There's this kind of extravagance in the clothing, but also I think there's like a deeper meaningness. I think there's a kind of class issue, I think, which I've sort of discussed in the work before, like in terms of the things that we carry with us, the things that we wear. So I think there's this kind of like double meaning in their outfits. In one instance it seems quite flamboyant, but in another sense it's like this kind of desperation when you're trapped within boundaries to kind of speak outside of them. I think there's a big connection between walking and working in the studio. I think there's a kind of idea that you're walking away from a sort of central behaviour. It's like I don't go in the studio with one idea and complete that idea at the end of the day and feel good about it. It's usually I walk very far away from that idea and realise there's something else that's more interesting. And I think that's kind of something I enjoy about actually doing a walk that involves you not knowing really where you're going. Because there's a kind of feeling and a mood you want to conjure that helps you think about things, and it helps you create fictions and things and stories and locate things that I think is really important when I make my work. It's just weird to think that we've hit the edge of London and it just turns into fields. I think for this show, the title, Divine Cargo, was a way of me telling myself that actually these habits that I have, these habitual things that I do that perhaps are unconventional, or they're not such strict ways of making work and they're not such strict ways of acting, that they're important. They're a divine object. It's like a kind of ritualistic practice or something where I'm carrying these things and showing them that they are important to how I make work and important to having ideas. So I think your habits are what make you and your work, dare I say, unique to yourself.